feature presentation.
This is Ed McMahon. And now, here's Andrew.
Andrew Z. I love that Andrew Z. I said Andrew Z. In the morning, it's time to wake up. Andrew Z. In the morning, yeah. Come on.
Good morning. Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 16th, 2021 in the year of our Lord. Welcome to the show, everybody. We got Demetrius Nicodemus. East Side, Southside, Gina from Cabela Media. Ashley P.
Hi, guys.
Donnie P.
Morning.
And our producers, Georgia and Tammy, are hanging out with us as well.
Andrew Z. In the morning.
Woo! Woo! Morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's see, Natasha. Good morning to
That's
my
funny what she said.
my only friends.
I thought it said
feel the same.
OnlyFans. I was like, what?
Demetrius, do you have a subscription you need to tell us about?
No, but I am going to start my own OnlyFans page for people who only like crock pot cooking.
Ooh.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Only-
subscribing.
Only fans of crock pot cooking. And I'll put crock pots in different situations, like opening scenes of like porn. I'll put a crock pot in a thong, and then a crock pot in a pizza delivery hat, and then a pizza in front of him, and then the crock pot and the thong won't have any money. And then we'll be like, oh, how are we going to fix this? Crotch
I'm
pot
telling you.
cooking.
How do I pay for this?
I don't
I'm telling
have
you.
a lot of money.
Unsubscribe.
No, that would be huge. You could do crock pot on the patio. You could do crock pot in the garage.
Yeah.
You could
Right.
do crock pot in the car. I'm telling you.
On a
You
boat?
do it. I'll subscribe. Yes, on a boat. And then
Donnie, it
I'm
sounds
one
like-
step closer to having my own.
Donnie, it sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
This
I'll
one-
write the book. You do the OnlyFans page.
I feel like
That was-
T-Full right now because I'm about to hit you with the obvious, but
What?
crockpots have plugs, so you can't do it all these places. You're
Extension
gonna
cord.
just have to pick a place where there's an outlet, okay?
No, and see, and this is the thing. This is where it all goes. Like everybody says, just because it's got a plug doesn't you can't do it there.
Yeah.
Really, we can crock pot anywhere, baby. I'll tell you what.
Crock
I
pot
will-
here, crock
Yep.
pot there, crock pot anywhere.
Yep, I got a crock pot plug that plugs right into your cigarette lighter, which isn't a
Ooh.
cigarette lighter anymore. So
Oh,
you
What
could,
do they
girl,
call
we
that
can.
now?
the charging
we-
port now.
Yep.
We've just replaced it with one terrible addiction for another. Cigarettes. and
Demetrius just T-fold your T-full by saying,
Yeah.
you say you can't do it anywhere. He's well, actually,
Yeah.
you
can
you
you can
can.
crock pot, and this is the mentality we have to break wives out of, honey. We can crock pot anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Anywhere. We can crock pot in public as long as I don't make a lot of movement. Nobody will know.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds like a very typical husband and wife argument. Yes, we can. No, we can't, and we surely shouldn't. But yeah, we can.
you surely
Come
shouldn't.
on.
That's the
We
extra
used to
Oh, Georgia,
Yeah.
no, Ashley's never gonna use a crock pot.
like there's used to be like you used
Oh.
to remember when you and Donnie used to crock pot anywhere, like
I know.
in the park, you guys would crock pot at the drop of a hat, and then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you turned into a mom, and now you got to plan the crock potting.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's all
I
it's
remember.
all childrenhood.
I
Yeah,
know.
just like
Starting to
kind
think
of
we're
ruins
not
the
talking
crack
about-
potting.
I'm starting to think we're not talking about real crock pots anymore. You guys.
Oh,
What
Yeah.
are you talking about, Gina? I'm talking
know.
about some place to put my beef.
We're talking about cracks, everyone,
so
not Crocs.
we have our new producer, Tammy. She's running the whole show today, and George is taking the morning off. She's overseeing, but she's not doing. So welcome
Tammy.
Tammy to the show. Hi, Tammy. Hi.
She's doing good.
I know. So far, so good. What was I going to say? Have you ever done this? You're having a back and forth conversation on Facebook Messenger, and then you have the three little bubbles, like that they're typing a response, and you sit there for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then then the bubble just goes away.
Yes.
You're like, I've been sitting here for your response. You probably were never even typing. It's a very big flaw in Facebook, and I have wasted several minutes doing that. I'm going back and forth. I see the bubbles. They're about to type a response, and nothing. It's so annoying.
I try to have fun with it, and like if I see the dots, I'll try to make another statement. That way, they have to change what we're gonna say, and then like you do it again, and then you just kind of keep going, and they're like, ah.
That's so funny. I purposely don't like type anything if I see because iPhones have the same feature, so you can see when another iPhone user is like typing.
Right.
And so just to be sure that they are able to get out what they really want to say, I will stop texting so I can be sure to get it.
You're so polite.
I know.
Nice.
I really just want to know like what they were going to say. I don't want to mess it up.
I have a picture of those those 3 dots that I just send. In like, and that's so
rude.
It's so funny though.
That gives people like me a lot of anxiety. Like, what were they going to say? I will never know.
I know. You know what another pet peeve is when I will ask 2 to 3 to 4 questions in a text or a group message. And we'll get one response to one of the questions.
That's your problem.
Yeah.
Asking multiple questions.
What's that?
Yeah. Limit it to 2 max. Because if you're doing multiple questions, that gives me the opportunity to pick which one I want to answer. And so I haven't blasted you because I didn't not respond, but I answered one, and now I'm on my way.
I've wrapped my mind around answering the one question, and by the time I'm answering the one question, 3 more questions come up.
Yes.
Guess what? You get the answer to the one question that I was thinking about. I'm like, that's
right.
You can't rapid fire text question me because now I don't know how you're going to read these responses. Are you going to read them from bottom to top as thinking that that's how I read them? Yeah. Or are you going to read them from the first question down to the last question that you asked? Like, or are you going to pick the middle question and then work your way out? I don't know how any of that works. So you don't get answers like that because I can't trust you to make the proper decision.
It's not, no, I'm talking about all in one text. So like, let's say I'll say.
Exactly.
I'll say, hey, dinner at 5. Are you grabbing the kids? What are we having? What do you feel like? And then it'll be like, yes.
Yes.
But yes to all of them. But yes, she answered your question. Yes.
But we
are eating. I don't know what it is yet, but yes.
And I am picking up the kids. And I'm sorry, you hungry bastard, that you couldn't pick up one of these 2 questions and make it yourself. Like,
right.
Now you got me running 3 errands. I got to pick up the kids. I got to think about what we're eating. And I got to either A, pick it up or cook it. No. How about this? Hey, honey. How about you pick up the kids? I've thought about what we're going to eat, and I've made it.
That was such a good answer, D. You're like totally my hero today. I love that answer.
Yeah, but D, do you actually do those things?
Yes, I do.
No, actually, now you do because.
Yes, I do.
Doing the house husband thing.
Yes, I do it.
And doing it real.
I remember when Jimmy Ham, who was a road comic, he was, of course, co-host. He's my kid's godfather. When he first transitioned to staying home because his wife had a job and his was comedy and so whatever, but he wanted to get off the road and she was making enough money, so he ended up starting to stay home and watch the baby and do all that stuff. And then I remember him saying that. He for some reason he just like transformed into a wife to the point where he's like, so what time are you coming home? Why so long? And then he said the coup de grace of his transformation to stay at home was he was watching an Oprah episode and just started bawling. And that's when he knew the transition had been complete to stay at home. Or if you're sitting there, now would be Dr. Phil or something, but.
Oh, the girls get so annoyed about Dr. Phil. So that's actually kind of a funny story, and I wanted to put that on Facebook. But the other day I was like just trying to like get lost in something, you know? And it's always Dr. Phil, which I know I should know better because it's so bad. But
Yes.
Melania like busted me, and she's like, why are you watching that? And I was like, I don't know, because I want to. And she's like, oh, she got so frustrated. I was like, why does it stress you out? And she's like, because the people on there are just dumb. And I was like, oh, all right. So I just changed the channel. I was like, she's probably right. It is kind of stressful.
Oh, she's right.
That's what Cohen did to Kara one day when she was watching like one of her reality shows.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing. And it was just like, he was like, why do you watch this? All they do is behave badly and yell.
Yeah.
And I was like,
no, they're real smart. Melania hates when I watch The Housewives. She's like, why do you still watch this stuff?
I was sitting there like, why isn't he unconscious yet? How is he still on both of his feet saying this? This is not how that statement works.
Right. I don't know what I was going to say. But here's what I know I'm going to say though, Ashley. So speaking of your Facebook page, we've been talking about the last couple of days, your post from March 12th.
Yeah.
At 4:19 p.m.
Yeah, I had a rough week at work.
Sometimes being nice just isn't enough. Blah.
Okay. So like I told your
Friday.
Wife, listen, but no, TGIF, because I had just about, well, that was my breaking point. I just reached the pinnacle of all the bullshit I could take for 1 week. So
what happened?
I don't know. But like I told your wife, because she was so sweet and she sent me coffee money, which I thought was so kind of her. And she said, have a coffee on us because you're like the nicest person ever, which was super sweet of her. And really made me cry. Like I was like trying so hard to like hold back all the tears from the week. And then she sent me that and I was like, people do like me. I'm not a bad person after all. To myself, you know, just like being all in my emotions. And then thank God Saturday morning I started my period. So woo!
So now you know why Friday's post happened.
Oh yeah, exactly. I told her, I'm like, I don't usually do passive aggressive shit like this, but I have to today. I just felt it and I went with it and I did it. And now in my real brain, I wish I could like delete it and, you know, not have to ever see it again. But, you know, it's there and it happened.
I tried. So what's behind it? What's the story behind it?
I can't talk about it. But it's just some.
Be vague.
Be vague.
I don't know how to be vague. That was as vague as I can be. And then I have to tell the whole story. So that's all I can say.
You know, everyone, by the way, Ashley, I just have to tell you that everyone loves you. Like I told you this last night, but Andre Savage says, I just want to know what Ashley's doing. That's all I care about. And Gina said, and Gina said, man, I love Ashley. And Colleen has said
True story.
Everyone says how much they love you. It's
Gina said, whose ass do I have to kick?
Yeah, I saw that post and I like instantly went into like defense mode. I'm like, whose ass am I kicking? Like, who is upsetting Ashley? This is bullshit.
That's the thing. I think that's what's so frustrating is that I really do try my best to like always be kind. Mm-hmm. And so when it's not reciprocated, that's just what pisses me off.
So who didn't reciprocate?
Can I ask a question? And this is like legit, okay? So, and this is just for everybody. Are we kind because we expect kindness back, or are we kind for the sake of being kind? Do you do nice things for people in anticipation of being acknowledged for those nice things, or are those nice things enough?
No, I think that when you are consistently nice to people and they consistently treat you like you're a piece of shit, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. So like, okay. I'm not just kind because I expect it back. Like I could be kind and you could just kind of like ignore me and that's cool. But when you go out of your way to like pick on someone who's always trying to be nice to you,
that's a dick move.
That's a dick move, and that's a problem.
This is not helping this I want to kick somebody's ass feeling that I have. Because now I'm like, I'm sitting here like, whoa, wait a minute.
It's funny. There are two categories of nice, and one is more nice, and one is just doing the right thing, and they're two different categories. I'm going to give you an example. Oprah Winfrey. Who's the other talk show host? Ellen DeGeneres.
Dude, I don't think it's fair that you like bring millionaires into like the nice thing. I don't think that's a good comparison.
Well, let me finish. And then there's someone in my life that I don't want to call out. So there's three people there that they do the right thing. Like they know what's right and they do it. But like they're not warm, they're not nice, they're not touchy feely, but they know what the right thing is and they do it. So there is that category. Oprah is definitely like that. She's like, I know that being a good person will get me good person vibes back, and this is the right thing and what I should do. But she's not trying to hug you. Like she doesn't want to get a pour on her.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't want to get a pour rubbed off on her. So she's not going to hug you. The nice person is going to give a homeless person a hug and be like, hey, it's going to be okay. That's a different category. And there are two categories. Does that make sense?
But
I understand what you mean.
I guess what I'm asking is,
Mhm.
and I understand like with rich people, it's really easy to be kind. It's super easy to be kind and not expect anything back because Procter & Gamble is probably sending you something. But
Yeah, exactly.
but do we like this has always been a question. Do you do things for the sake of kindness, or do you do them and then because I've seen so many people do nice things and then get mad when those things aren't acknowledged by the people that they do nice things for or reciprocated. Like if you don't get a nice if you don't get a nice thing back, then you're mad at yourself for doing that nice thing for somebody else. And so my question is, isn't it just enough that you do the nice thing? Isn't it just enough that you put kindness out and maybe not get it back, but you continue to put kindness out?
Natasha has a good point. That there are some people that will do nice and then keep tally of it. And then like later on, they like list all the nice things that they do and like why that makes them a good person. So those people are annoying for real.
I think the difference between being nice and kind though. Nice is, I think it's nice that celebrities give things away. I don't know if that's necessarily kind. Being kind is just like from your heart of who you are. Like that's just who you, like you're just a person who wants people to be happy, or you just want to be, cool with people. You don't want to be rude. You don't want to go out of your way to like upset anyone. I think that's kind of
going back to Dee's point. I don't think that there's if I hold a door for someone and they don't even say thank you, I did something nice and not. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You can't even just say thank you. I mean,
like, is that necessary? Do you need that thank you? Like, I know I get pissed when I let somebody in, like from a parking lot, and they just drive on,
right?
And you're like, you can't give the hand, you can't give the rear window wave, like, hey, thanks.
I know.
Dude, is the act in itself enough to sustain you and how you feel inside? Is that enough to give you the acknowledgement and the happiness that you're looking for?
I would say yes, but it's okay to be like, well, I mean, you could at least just gave the back window wave.
Yeah, I don't think it's weird. Right. I don't think it's like weird to like expect kindness in return. I think it's weird that like more people aren't kind. Like,
but see, and that's the thing. I think that's the problem that we have, is that people have an expectation, and this is fine. You should be treated and with respect and human dignity across the board. But I think people also demand that you are kind to them, and when they are kind to you. And it is, and I don't think that's how it should work. Does that make sense? Like, you should be kind for the sake of kind. Like, you should love for the sake of love, right? I love coffee. It's not because of what coffee does to me. I have grown to love coffee. Coffee,
but
coffee and I never
Yeah, go ahead, Gina.
So I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree, but I think the difference would be like if I was kind to just for and nobody returned that to me, and then I stopped being kind. That means that I was doing it just because I wanted the reaction. But if you don't get the wave or whatever, the thank you wave, you're not going to not let somebody in next time.
Right.
You're going to keep doing it. So I think wanting somebody to return that, reciprocate that, expecting society to be kind in return, that's a pretty normal thing. But if you stop being kind, then you're kind of an asshole. Then you were doing it just because you want somebody to wave at you, which is kind of stupid. But
and I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. You can be kind and do kind things and still say, "Hey, I mean, can I get a thank you?" I think you can do both things, and I don't think that they are like I said, mutually exclusive.
I think that's kind of too and so I guess maybe to round out the question, D, I'm still being kind after this situation of this person not being so kind. So I feel like I'm just doing it because it feels yucky to not be kind. Right. I don't even like it. It doesn't make me feel good at 0%. I hate having to stand up for myself. I hate having to assert myself. I hate conflict. I would just rather everything be cool. You know what I mean? So it
surprises me how many people go, there are people in this life, a couple different categories. Number one, that just go around just miserable. They have miserable all over their face. They have miserable all over their Facebook page. And guess what? That just attracts more miserable. It's just miserable people. And then there's the other person that is just waiting to be mad. They're just looking for a reason to be mad. Instead of just going through life, but I know something's going to happen. I know I'm about to be mad at something. I just got to find something to be. I'm already mad inside. I just got to look for an excuse to get it out. Yeah. And there are those people too that is like, how do you live like that? It must be ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like the must be nice type attitude, whenever they see someone having success or whenever they see something, they're like, oh, it must be nice to have this, or it must be nice to be able to do that.
Yeah. It's like you could do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I get a bunch of, you guys got anything? You guys got anything you want to talk about?
No.
Well, I kind of wanted to talk about something, but I don't know. But okay.
Go ahead.
So yesterday, so you know how obviously I just described my emotional feelings. Hi, Cohen. For the whole week or whatever, the week leading up to, and then only Gina can relate, but you guys might be able to know what I'm talking about because you have wives. So, the week leading up to your period is just complete fucking torture, and you feel like you're not even yourself. And then you start, and you're like, oh, okay, that explains everything, whatever. But you're still a little bit stressed out. So I went on the search for CBD gummies because I was like, maybe it'll chill me the F out. So I'm kind of cool and calm. But so I chickened out. So yesterday I went to GNC because I Googled it while the girls were at school. And I was like, all right, if it's at GNC, then it's totally legal and I can get it from there. So GNC had nothing, by the way. It's there's shelves around the perimeter of the store and then nothing else. It looked like they were going out of business. So I don't know what that's all about. But anyways, so I walked in and I was like, do you have CBD? And they were like, we have CBD lotion. And I was like, yeah, probably not what I'm looking for.
Did the guy go, come to the back?
That was the other thing. So it's one guy and then me in the store. Yeah, seriously.
Only cops ask if I ask you if you're a cop, you gotta say yes.
Yeah. So I was like, and then of course, to be courteous, I just walk around the store and I act like I'm looking for stuff because I was like, I can't just walk out. I can't just be like, hey, do you have CBD? No, we don't. Okay, bye. That would be so awkward. So I made it even more awkward by sticking around for a little while it was completely what?
Just put this lotion on your tongue.
I know, right?
Go ahead,
Ashley.
I got some CBD. It's wrapped in this joint.
Yeah, no, but that's what. So there's a CBD dispensary right in front of GNC, and I was like, I almost turned in, and I instead turned into the Panera parking lot and went and had a bowl of soup because I was like, I can't do this.
Oh,
I can't go in here.
Ashley, you should have done. Is Family
Listen.
Video still open? Because you could have gotten a video and some CBD.
I don't know.
Right.
But I don't know if that is legal. So I'm like
It
freaking
is.
out. I'm like, what if I like get in my car and I get pulled over and they're like, you have CBD gummies? Like I didn't know. So basically, I wanted to ask everyone's opinion. I know Kara has a place, but like I didn't want to drive to Mommy by myself. So
Okay, go ahead,
By
Gina.
yourself because Mommy's so dangerous.
You guys, I'm freaking out about if it's legal or not.
Go ahead,
Oh
Gina.
my God. Could
Firstly-
you imagine the state highway patrol picture after they pull Ashley over and pull out 100 pounds of CBD gummies with a street value of $35?
Right? Gina, tell me what you're gonna say.
Okay. So we have to look out for each other, Ashley and I, or we'll never get words in when these guys start going.
I know.
So,
right?
Ashley, two things. Firstly, CBD is legal. It doesn't show up in drug tests. There's nothing. You can take it. It won't do anything at all. Secondly, when you have time, you and I are going to go up to Teebs in Adrian, and visit there, and we can talk to their. I'll go with you. I'll hold everything. I'll hold all your CBD.
Yeah.
I'll
Carry
be.
it back.
If we
Hide it
get
in your
pulled over,
bra.
I'll take the L for
your
you
bra.
if we get pulled over.
I'm coming on that trip.
Oh yeah, I want to
You-
see. I want to see this. It's my CBD officer.
Well,
Right?
She doesn't
here's the
know.
thing.
Those are my gummies.
And here's the thing, Ash, because I just got the a CBD gummy from there. It was like a big 50 milligram one, and I don't take that much. So I cut it up and I take it every night. I'm a happier person. Like Donnie, you'll love me after I take Ashley to Teebs. You will love me. You're gonna be like, that's my best friend. So we'll go, and I will make sure that you feel comfortable, because when you go in there, firstly, it's beautiful. This dispensary is beautiful, and second of all, they'll make you so comfortable with it.
You're taking.
So-
Wait a minute, Gina. You're going to
What?
take her into a dispensary.
Mhm.
She just
Yes.
told you she's got an issue walking into a place that sells straight CBD.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're going to walk her into a dispensary.
Yes.
Like she's like, hey, I don't like walking through puddles, and you're like,
My
girl,
armpits
I
are
got
already
an
sweating.
ocean for you.
Yes,
That's
I'm
what
going
you're
to.
gonna do.
I'm gonna hold her hand through the whole process so that she's more comfortable.
You're just not going to take her to a CBD store here in Ohio. You
No.
would rather surround her with marijuana.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was.
CBD.
Is Michigan? Is it? It's legal in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but they have
It is.
CBD products there.
But there are CBD places closer that she would be more comfortable walking
Not like
into.
this.
No. But here, two things. First of all, I gotta say that Donnie, when Gina said she was gonna take Ashley, Donnie's like, yes.
Babe, I'm not that bad, right? Just kidding. Don't answer that fucking question.
Oh, honey, you're fine. I'm
'Cause
I'm
I
going
already
to get
know.
stuff
Yeah.
for myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forget. Donnie just wants to. The second thing was, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a King of Queens episode. If you remember, that show was my favorite show.
I love that show. It comes on at like 3 a.m. and I'm like,
Does it? It's a great show.
I love it.
There's a great episode where they start the dad and her husband start to give Carrie, they start to put alcohol in her drinks because she's way more calm and not as edgy. And then so they started slipping it in to her drinks just to try to get the edge off because
Aw.
she's so tightly wound, as many women are.
Sometimes I do relate to Carrie from King of Queens. I look at her and her husband and I'm like, that's kind of me and Donnie. Because he's so laid back. He's like, they're like so extra, like on the opposite sides.
But I think that's what makes a good show, though, is because I think everyone sees some of themselves in it. Like,
Yeah.
We'll say the same thing. If you're going, oh my God, they're living our lives, then you know that sitcom has got it, because everyone, I think everyone says the same thing. But yeah, so we'll take you over to Teebs, and we'll get you. It's the Teebs lifestyle. It's just where it's no worries,
It's
mine.
just-
No worries, mine.
It's so funny. It's just like, you know what? I'm really trying to like warm up to missionary sex, and you're like, well, I got a dungeon that I want to take you to. Let me just tell you, we're gonna hook you up to a cross. They're gonna talk you through this missionary thing, and the next thing you know, we're walking out with 2 ball mouth gags.
And a swing.
They have a Jamaican guy at the front door, and he's like, "What's up, man? You gonna be okay? Come on back."
And then you're like this. Don't you feel bad for just reinforcing stereotypes? Don't you? It's 2021. We should have a guy named like Thad outside going, "Come on in and please enjoy the roundness of everything. Everything's soft. There's no edges."
Yeah. Hey, tell him we sent you to Teebs.
Well, if I go to jail for my CBD purchase, you guys got to bail me
You
out.
won't. I'm gonna hold it for you. I'm telling you, this is how it works. See, Ashley, you don't know about the life.
I tried
know
to
about
Google
this
it
life.
too, and it's like there's no THC in it, and I'm like, is THC what makes marijuana?
THC is what makes you
you're
high,
so
but
white.
small amounts of THC won't hurt you either.
I think Demetrius knows a lot of cops. I know a lot of cops. Believe me, in Toledo, there are no cops pulling you over and trying to take your CBD gummies and take you to jail. They've got bigger fish to fry.
Well, and if they do,
Ashley
it's stealing because it's not illegal and they can't confiscate it. So if a cop pulls you over and takes your CBD, then you need to call a cop on that cop because they just stole from you. They just robbed you.
Yes.
They just stole from you.
I remember I was in Columbus once and I had a cop steal my weed. And that was like
no, 15, he confiscated it.
Yeah, he totally confiscated it
in his pocket. I've had that happen, and it's bullshit, especially when it's good. They like smell it. They're like, "Oh, that's good shit. Put it in your pocket." Like I'm gonna take this, and you're like,
"It was like 20 years ago." And I was sitting in a bar, and this is just to tell you like how you realize like where you rank in like safety, right? Because when you're in a bar full of cops and they're like giving you your shit back so you can leave, I'm like, I have a bag of weed in that pocket, and I was about to walk out of the bar without my coat. Like they were pulling up coats. They were like, "Whose coat is this?" And I saw my coat, and I was like, and then the cop was like, "This is your coat, isn't it?" And I was like, "It could be." And then he handed it to me. He was like, "You can leave." And then like I'm halfway down the street and I start packing my pockets and I'm like, like I was feeling lucky. And then I'm like, that son of a, and I went to turn around and my friends were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "He just took and they were like, "Are you not walking out of here right now?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I guess we should just leave."
I gotta go.
All right, I gotta say, anyway, Teebs.green, they're awesome over there. I gotta say hi to my mom, who's listening this morning. Hi, Mom. Okay, this is kind of interesting to me. Do you know the reason that there are those black stripes on school buses? Because there is a reason for them. You know, most of the school buses have those black stripes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or the black lines. What did
Two guesses?
Okay. Donnie's got two guesses. Guess number one.
Well, first one's just obvious, the visibility to make the buses more visible. But since they're long stripes, I'm guessing in case they have to identify the height of somebody that's near the bus.
Okay, so let me get this. This is actually
that's a weird guess, babe.
So this is they have stolen this technology from 7-Eleven.
Yes. Borrowed.
We borrowed it, which of course everyone knows. If you go to a convenience store, sometimes they will put they will put a height chart on the door so you can identify how tall somebody is. But you see those? We have a picture of the. If you're listening to the podcast, we have a picture of a school bus up, and you see there's two black lines. So Donnie's guess is so we can. So we can find out how tall the perp is that I guess tried to sneak on the bus.
Great guess too, by the way. Definitely in the top two answers of what it is.
We have an assailant attacking a school bus. He is approximately between the two black lines, so I'm guessing 5'7" to 5'6".
Does anyone else have a guess?
I just thought it was for like design.
Okay.
Reflection, maybe?
Aerodynamics, maybe?
No, I wouldn't think of that.
Aerodynamics? What?
I don't know. So because the line, the wind will swoop down in the paths of the two lines. For better gas mileage. What do you?
I have a guess. Is it because when they first rolled out these buses, they were just all yellow, and the yellow buses felt fat, And so they were like, black is slimming. So if we put 2 black lines down you will now feel like skinnier buses.
No,
Those
stripes
vertical
make
stripes,
you look
they
fatter.
gotta be
they say.
vertical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, horizontal, not good. Vertical,
No.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
That's why
I'm
the bus
sorry.
looks so wide. No.
Damn, thick bus.
Look at Ashley bus shaming. You need some
I know.
CBD in your life.
I know.
All right.
Taking you.
I love big buses, and I
And I
cannot
cannot lie.
All right. So does anyone any other guesses? The
In
black
case it goes in the
black-
water.
in case it goes in the water.
Yeah, I wonder how many buses had gone into the water before, and somebody was like, "Man, we have lost a ton of kids in this lake. We should probably put a black line on this bus."
Does it have
right,
an
what is it
actual
for?
purpose?
Okay, so here there is a functional purpose to those black lines,
do tell.
and here we go. Oh, wait, I want to see one thing.
Oh my god!
I
You're
wanna
making it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
No, I'm not. Shut up. The school bus driver and YouTuber Claw Boss, who often answers questions about the vehicles on his YouTube channel, said those markings can help first responders in an emergency. They have all these black rails. They actually tell you something. One line marks the floor of the bus. Another line marks the bottom of the seats. And the third line marks the top of the seats.
That's
So that
cool.
way, if the bus gets in an accident, in the event of an accident, they actually
So
get
Gina, you were kind of
firefighters.
right.
Who was?
Gina was
Well, it
kind
was
of right. Like in case of an accident, but who knew buses were made like solo cups?
what do you mean?
Right.
In the event of an accident, they actually give firefighters an idea on where to cut.
Dang. Oh, that's so kind of sad, yo.
Or if you're in Colombia,
Scary.
it gives the kidnap ransom squad an idea where to shoot.
Jesus.
Wow. Okay.
All we got to do is shoot above that last black line.
Okay.
Whoa, Dee.
Now, they also, a lot of them have black hoods. He said in one video that they reduce glare, while the grill covers keep the diesel engine warm in winter in areas with more extreme temperatures. So there you go. That's the
Really?
mystery of
Really?
the black.
You know what? How about this? How about this guy made a YouTube channel about something nobody knows exactly where to get the answers to. So now he's like, let me just tell you something about this
Made it
bus.
up.
Oh, and the yellow helps it fly. Do you know that? The yellow helps it fly. So when we're late, I can just push this button and then Miss Frizzle pops out and she fucking takes this bus on a matter. Like,
Man, bring back Miss Frizzle.
Who's
I get,
Jeez.
from
you don't know who Miss
the Magic
Frizzle is?
School Bus.
Oh, I've never heard of Miss Frizzle. I didn't know about the magic.
Andrew.
Dee.
Dee.
Oh, well, Dee's the same age as you, so I was going to make an age joke, but he knows who she is.
I don't.
How
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm trying to
It's
think
a-
of
it's a
if
little
that makes
sad.
sense why you don't, but yeah.
It is. It is sad.
Was it a TV show?
It's a kid
Yeah.
show.
And
Oh.
you learn. I mean, I enjoy it too. Like I'll accidentally
Well-
keep it on after the kids go to bed.
Yeah.
like that kind
Have
of
you ever watched
show.
Magic
Andrew's-
School Bus, Andrew?
Yeah, you eat a
Like Andrew's-
handful of CBD and watch Magic School Bus.
I feel like you should have some THC in that CBD if you're going to watch the Magic School Bus, though.
I think Andrew's oldest kids are a little young. I think that's why. Because we all
My
have
kids
older
are older than his, and they watched it.
That's what I mean. His are too young. It's
Oh,
an older
yeah.
show.
He doesn't
Right,
care
yeah.
about the emotional and educational well-being of his children, so he never introduced them to
You gotta
Miss
remember.
Frizzle.
So from the time that I was, let's say, 16, until the time that they're now, my oldest is 13. So 13 years. So there's about a 30-year difference where I didn't watch any kid shows because there was no. I was
Yeah.
too old. I had aged out of the system, and
And I was watching
Yeah,
it
it's
in
like-
my second grade classroom, so that's why I know what it is.
Right. It's old.
all right.
I'm old too.
Here's what else. Paris Hilton says it was awkward when Lindsay Lohan crashed her 2006 car ride with Britney Spears. If you guys remember the iconic picture, it was Paris driving. Britney was in the car, and then Lindsay kind of had squished herself into the front seat. So, wherever there was back then, wherever there was cameras, these celebrities had to go. But Paris Hilton is opening up about a relationship with Lindsay Lohan. At the time, the two stars were iconically photographed during a night out with Britney Spears. During last week's episode of Hilton's podcast, This Is Paris, the Simple Life alum explained what was going on behind the scenes when the paparazzi snapped the infamous photo of her, Spears, and Lohan grinning inside of the car in 2006. Now, the photos... What, D?
I'm just... Like, we couldn't have grabbed like younger photos.
Yeah, I know.
Like these, they all look like divorcees.
Tammy, can you put the picture of them up in the car?
Hollywood life is tough. Okay, give them a break.
Right?
Like Lindsay Lohan looks like wow.
She's been looking like that though. I just think that she had a hard life, and like life did not hit her with the right cards.
Like she looks like that old mom that tries to like come into school looking young and making all the husbands uncomfortable when she's like, "Hi, how are you? I have a kid that goes to your school too."
I've always wanted to talk to. There's the infamous picture.
Thank God.
Lindsay Lindsay's like, let me in. There's a kid. She was probably in the back seat, and she said, "Oh, cameras. Let me in that front seat, girl. You ain't taking all the."
No, Lindsay's like the drunk girl at the party that everybody's like, "Bro, you're way beyond," and she just like thinks everybody wants her to be in their personal space. And they're like,
"So I can tell you what's happening." Sorry, Ash, go ahead.
No, that's fine. No, go ahead.
Go ahead,
it looks like Brittany's like, "What the fuck?" And Paris is like, "Hi, Lindsay. Can you get out now?" That's what's happening right there.
It's Britney Spears is looking at Paris and she's like, "I feel Nickelodeon money touching me, and why do I feel Nickelodeon money touching me? Why did we let Nickelodeon in the car? That Nickelodeon should know. Nickelodeon rides a bus. Nickelodeon doesn't jump in this car.
Go get a ride from your identical twin sister."
Or here's the Donnie.
I don't get it.
What do you mean? She was in Parent Trap.
Oh, Jesus, duh. Okay, yeah.
Parent Trap reference. I loved it.
I get it. All right.
Where's she at?
Okay,
she won't ride
her
with
around.
me.
Yes.
She thinks she's better than I am because she's got movie money.
She's got Disney money. Disney money spends Nickelodeon money every time. Well, all right. Okay, so here's what happened. The picture is that Lindsay jumps in, and then ever have that friend where the third person is doing something awkward, but they can't see you. So you make a weird face like, "What's that person?" Like you see Brittany because Lindsay can't see Brittany because she's behind her. So Brittany's looking at Lindsay like, "Okay, what's she doing?" You know that thing is, it's like you're making fun of you're making fun of the second person because you're the third person, but they can't see you. All right.
It's so awkward.
It's that you know what it is? It's that dynamic of like two of the popular kids in school who are super best friends, and then that third guy who's like a periphery friend, but he's really trying to break into the top three.
Yes.
And so, and he's like, "Hey guys, what cool things are we all doing today?" And they're
literally.
like, "Oh Christ, it's Chris."
Yeah,
that's like literally the story of my life. Like that's why I knew what Lindsay Lohan's place was on that picture, because been there.
Like he's the kid. He's the kid.
There's a kid that goes, "Hey, we're all the cool kids, right?" "Yes, we are."
Yeah.
So what's going on?
He's got the brother.
Where are we going?
He's got like his
the brother that could buy alcohol.
His brother will buy alcohol. His parents will let him drink. Him and his friends drink in their house.
So you tolerate him.
Yeah, so he's like, he comes along all the time, but he's really not part of the group.
Right. Poor Ashley. He's like
Bummer.
he's like the bulldog with the little dog jumping up and over.
Yeah. Tell him, Spike. You tell him. This is what we don't put up with. That's right, Spike. You come into our neighborhood, and what happens is you get smacked down, Spike. Spike, don't let him talk to you like that, Spike. Spike, if that was me, I would not let him do that, Spike.
Poor Ashley.
Right.
That was you, Ashley?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was always trying to fit in with like it was always like two best friends, and then it would be like me, like, hey, I want to be a friend.
Oh,
That makes me so
You know how
sad.
you fix that, Ashley? You find
guys, it's
6
okay.
friends who want to play Dungeons and Dragons with you, and then you never ever get out of that. Like that's your group.
Well, I feel like it was just like I actually think it ended up being fine because it was actually people that I probably shouldn't have been wanting to be that close of friends with anyway. So it was probably like saved by the bell.
or it's like okay, so you plan a night at the house like where you're gonna like play girl games and stuff, and then they tell you, oh, now we're not gonna do it after all. It got canceled.
Yes.
And then
God,
you find out that it still went on.
Yes.
Went on without you.
Total bummer.
I can't wait for you guys to come over. My mom has got all the Rice Krispies and marshmallows. We are going to make treats all day. It's going to be so much fun.
That's so funny and true.
It's like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
Natasha said she'll be your best friend, Ashley. You wanted to be black, and I'm half black, so you'd be like
See?
bestie. You'd be like
Well,
best
you know
friend.
what? Yes, I love that. That's so that's so true.
Let me finish the photo. So 2006, it's the three of them in the car. The photo surprised fans who believed all 3 stars were feuding at the time. So the shot was dubbed the Holy Trinity.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's offensive to my
Really?
Catholic background.
Like that's offensive. That's offensive to celery, onions, and green pepper.
Celery, onions, and
Celery
carrots.
doesn't go-
You mean
Celery doesn't go with onions and green peppers.
he meant carrots? He meant
It's the-
carrots.
The Holy Trinity.
It's onions, green peppers, and mushrooms. That's the
No,
Holy
it's not.
Trinity. Just celery?
It's celery, carrots, and onions. You guys, calm down.
That would be okay. I'll go with that one.
I'll go with carrots. Okay. Thank you, Ashley, for bringing peace between us.
You're
So,
welcome.
here's Paris. Quote, that was a night that Brittany and I went out and we were at the Beverly Hills Hotel at our friend's party, and we decided to leave to go home. We were walking to the car and all of a sudden got swarmed by tons of paparazzi just as we were walking to the car. That's when Lindsay came up. It was kind of awkward because we were having some drama. Hilton, who's now 40, Spears, who's now 39, and we're getting in the car. Paparazzi asked her about a video circulating, which Lindsay Lohan claimed that Hilton had hit her. At that moment, I saw Lindsay walking towards us, and I said, "Oh, why don't you just ask her?" Hilton recalled, and Lindsay said, "No, Paris would never hit me. I've known her since I was 15." It was basically just not admitting that what she did. It was quite awkward, to be asked that question. It was just weird how that whole thing happened. So, she said, all of a sudden I looked over and she's in my car. We weren't getting along, so I was polite. It was really hard to just even get out of there because I couldn't see with all the cameras. So there you go. She did some things to really hurt me, betrayed my trust, and it caused a lot of drama. So we weren't friends anymore, and it was kind of like this on and off friendship. So yeah.
I love it.
Interesting.
What's better than your guys' terrible accents is your impersonation of Paris Hilton.
Well,
Yes.
I do a really good impersonation of Paris Hilton.
I do have a quote. Go ahead. Jesus, team.
I don't know what that even means, but I'm guessing it has something to do with the tape.
I do have a question though, and I want to ask it about money, and then I'm going to transfer it over to a female, and it's a looks question, so I do apologize for being such an asshole right up front. But would you rather have money and lose it, or never have money at all?
Never have it at all. Why would you want to have it and lose it, and then you know what it feels like to have
Like
Lose
you
it
get
all.
to keep
Lose
the
it all.
stuff that you bought with it, and then just
What do you mean
the
lose
rest
it by
of the money?
spend it?
No,
Yeah.
some tragedy has happened where whatever the stock market crashed or you lost whatever the reason, you lost the money, and so you can no longer kind of like Schitt's Creek, where they had it and then they had this dramatic fall and then they had to live in a hotel. So you had money, and there you go. So
Yeah,
No,
I stand
I'd
by my
rather
answer.
just be poor.
Yeah.
you'd rather be poor?
I would rather have had money and lost it.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. You
What
know
was
why?
it?
Because
What do you learn?
what that says to me is that I have the ability to make it again.
Again, because you already made it once.
Yeah.
And
If
you
I-
learn
if-
from things.
and then but to never have had it and never, that's like it's like washing your clothes in a river when you live down the street from Appliance Center. And you're like, do you not know there's washing machines there? Or you're like, your life would be a lot easier. Well, I've never had a washing machine. I'm just going to pound my shit here on this rock. So you don't know the benefits of
Yes.
luxury.
Yes.
So that's
So-
just you. And
Yeah, but
that's a
then if you have
shame.
to go back to pounding your shit on a rock, you're like, fuck, I wish I still had that washing
and
machine.
then-
Then you just want to die.
And then you're like, I'm gonna start putting away some of my rock washing money away so I can get me a washing machine again.
Get back to the washing machine. Okay, so here's what I say. So the reason I asked that question is, I as going to a bar where there's older women, you can tell the ones that were hot and that had really counted on their looks growing up, and how the looks are starting to fade a little bit. And it's sad to watch because they still have the hot girl mentality because that's the way they've lived their whole lives.
Yeah.
But
Good for them. That's
but
awesome.
they don't have it anymore, and they're still. It's kind of sad. So I was wondering, would you rather be ugly? So would you rather be ugly and not have to deal with that fall, or would you rather have been the hot girl in school and then?
Well, Andrew, would you rather be good looking or are you cool with what you got?
Oh, fuck it.
I think confidence can take you a really long way. So, I mean, I feel like if you've got the hot girl mentality, then no one can take that away from you. That's pretty
It's a
cool.
snobby mentality, no. But if it's like, yeah, I got it, and let's have some
Well,
fun.
we can all agree
have a
that
good
hot
time.
girls have an easier life, right? I mean, they've had an easier life. There's no doubt about it. Like, they get shit handed to them because they're hot that the rest of us normal people haven't had. Right?
But
Right
I
now,
think-
well,
Yeah,
Donnie
but they
doesn't.
don't know.
Yeah,
doesn't.
Donnie understands. No,
Yeah.
Donnie gets it because he's been a hot boy his whole life.
Well, yeah.
So,
Well,
Thing handed to him.
And got
The hot
by on
girls
his
don't
charming
know.
good looks.
Oh, Donnie, you're
They
so
don't-
funny.
well, the hot girls
I'm just kidding.
they don't know though. They don't know that they just like think that's the way life is.
but older hot
So-
girls should know. Older because literally when you walk into like rumors, okay, and you can literally look and tell the decade in which these chicks were hot. Like, because they lock in that hairstyle that they were getting the most action. And so you're like, oh, okay, that chick, she was hot. They do. Like, they keep it. Like, it's like I firmly believe that's why dudes hold on to mullets, because that's when they had the most action. Is like people were digging that mullet, and he was like, "It's the mullet," and so I'm gonna ride this horse until it drops. And then she was like, "You know what?
Yep.
I had boys dropping stuff off to me in the '70s, so I'm locking in that big feathered hair." Boom, and it's 2021, and you're like, wow, you were getting it in the 70s, and then you see somebody with a perm, and you're like, wow, she was getting it in the 80s, and they just hold on to it because those were the good days.
Those are the good old days. That's when
I
they
agree.
were living their
Yeah,
they were
and
living
you
their best life.
You see the Rachel from the 90s, the Rachel,
Right?
Yeah.
It-
All right.
you're just-
Go ahead. So it's for me, like I like looking at the reason I love Facebook is because when I was in high school, there were girls that I liked that shunned me.
Where'd you go to? Amish high school?
I was going.
I've been shunned.
I was always attracted to the 9s or 10s, and so I would be shunned a lot. So
Andrew Ezekiel, we have decided that your lifestyle is no longer
Andrew Ezekiel.
appropriate. Here at AHS, we have decided to shun you.
You guys, wait,
But
you
Andrew,
guys.
that's because you have that mentality. You have the hot boy mentality.
This is super important. This is super important. Are you guys ready?
What?
Super important. It's like the most important ever for this whole show. Are you guys ready? I'm going to show you why Andrew got shunned. Andrew, did you bring this up on purpose?
No.
I just sent Andrew a picture, and I don't know where it came from or why I have this picture. But he's like, "Where the fuck did you get that?" And I said, "I don't know, but it's not gonna die. Just like I won't let the glamour shots die."
No.
Yes.
Wow. You look like that dude's agent.
Or his lawyer, yeah. It's like Pretty Woman. Like
This is the first pitch for Crockett and Tubbs.
Oh, Gina, you did.
This was
that
the
pop
first
collar.
pitch. Pop the collar. And is that good for you?
Andrew, it's not that bad.
It's not that good. But
You're welcome.
Wait,
you guys.
which one's Andrew?
I
shall
swear
never know.
That is the best ever.
Got hot in here.
oh, I bet it did. Are those knit ties?
I wore. There was a phase in the 8th grade where I wore a knit ties and sweater every day. So
Was that a waist jacket?
Yes. Yes.
Tucked in?
This is a
It's
formal.
tucked in.
No, it's not tucked in. It's a
Like tight around the waist, so it.
Cinch?
Yeah.
No.
It's like if members only made sports coats.
No, it's like a tuxedo. It's like a half tuxedo type jacket, kind of.
That's what they told you.
I think you look great, Andrew.
Oh,
Ashley, you're Ashley was tried to be friends with everybody. That was Ashley. That's why.
That's why I have
Oh.
no friends. It actually doesn't end up working out. Is because you tried to be too nice to people.
I know. Okay, so before shut up, Priscilla. Before we get out of here, I do have to say, because we're on YouTube, people do discover us. I don't think they discover us much on Facebook as a kind of our people.
No, are you talking about the comment, Andrew? I just want
YouTube
to correct
and Twitter.
you real quick.
Yeah. YouTube and Twitter. Go ahead.
So that's not YouTube. We actually just started, I think, today on a new platform.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
It's called Twitch.
gotta
If
get
you're
on that.
really
I've
old, you
heard of
won't
that.
have any idea what Twitch is. But Twitch is it's typically a gaming platform, but there's a lot of podcasts on there too. So we went ahead and added on Twitch. So
I'm so
that's what
excited.
I just wanted to make sure we knew where this came from. So go ahead, Andrew. I'm sorry.
Welcome, Twitcher. DJ Yannix is listening from the UK, Great Britain,
What's up?
and he has a question for Donnie, if I may.
Yes.
First off, can I just say, being British, there is nothing I love
Oh
more than
God, no.
a cup of tea and a slice of cake. Up until I saw Demetrius's hat. Ooh, which for DJ Yannix, that's Ohio. That's the state where we all live. Right there. That's an Ohio hat. And she says that my boyfriend is a beautiful hat, and you look very handsome. So DJ Yannix is apparently a girl.
Maybe.
Well, no,
Maybe.
I think she said my boyfriend is maybe. Okay, you're right. Maybe
Let's not assume.
I know. I
Yeah.
apologize, DJ Yannix.
Just use they them until we know.
Okay. Ashley P, a special mention to you because you're stunning.
Wow.
True
thank
story.
you.
Look at that. Look at Ashley.
All the
Anyway,
way from the UK?
yes. You're overseas gorgeous.
Nah.
Congratulations, they have poor dental.
Yeah.
Anyway, my question is to Donnie. Donnie, your beard is beautiful. How do you maintain it?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Much love.
I think they're talking about your wife.
He takes, yeah.
I just treat her well, and I try to listen and be
And then
there when I can.
and then like
brushes
three
me
comments
every morning.
later,
No.
like
Wait,
three
what?
comments later, they're like, Gina, you look good too.
Aw, you do.
Cool.
First of all,
Oh, there she is.
I'm a
DJ
new fan.
Yannix.
I'm a new fan of DJ Yannix, I have to say.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure. Thank you, DJ Yannix. Yeah, just a
So
little
Donnie,
bit of
Donnie, go ahead.
just a little bit of shampoo that already has its conditioner in it. So you do a little up here, a little down there, then you rinse, dry it, maybe a little bit of blow drying just to get most of the water out, and the rest
Donnie,
is all natural.
So you use the same shampoo / conditioner all in one for your hair and your beard? What about your nether regions? Is that the same stuff as well?
What
No,
a weird
I have
question.
Because he doesn't
have some
need.
body
He doesn't
wash.
have anything to condition down there.
Oh,
you know?
are you clean shaven down there?
I'm not all the way down.
We're married, you guys, for
I've
10
definitely
years.
escaped.
So come on.
Yeah.
You know how that be going. No, I'm just kidding.
That's how you can tell when a man's had like a good year too. Is like he'll leave his bush the same year as it was when he was really getting it.
Well, how
I
are
gotta-
they over the
I
day?
gotta go, you guys. I didn't know it was this flew by.
Oh,
it's already
crap.
7:30. Holy crap! I gotta go.
All right.
I just
Bye,
stayed here
Gina.
all morning chatting.
Bye, Gina.
Say bye to
Bye.
DJ Onyx in the Great Britain.
Bye, DJ Onyx. Thanks for the afterthought. I appreciate you.
Aw.
So,
I gotta go in like 5 minutes too. So.
Okay, yeah, we'll wrap up here in a couple of minutes. All right, so there's DJ Onyx from so it's cool. Twitch, I guess we might be discovered by now. DJ Onyx rather, DJ Twix.
Twix. Oh, Twix sounds so good right now.
Are you DJ right or left, Twix? Which one? Which one are you?
Peanut butter or caramel?
If you guys can all just share the post, share the video, that'd be awesome, especially in Great Britain. If we can go viral in Great Britain, I will say top of the morning, y'all.
Yes, and it'll be a direct smack in the face of Meghan Markle and her accusations.
Yes, we support the Queen. We do not support Meghan Markle just because we are from the States.
We
Meghan
support
Markle.
whoever you support.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Whoever's watching.
Who's ever watching?
Yeah, whoever you may be.
If you lean more towards Meghan Markle, we say go Meghan Markle. If you lean more Queen, we say screw Meghan Markle.
Yes. On behalf of the Queen, I want to say.
Wingardium Leviosa. I
Yeah.
can speak English.
Okay. Soleil. So, real quick before we wrap up,
Oh,
Soleil.
yeah.
Our last story. Soleil Moon Fry. You remember her as Punky Brewster?
Soleil Moon Fry.
Soleil. What I say?
Soleil.
Yeah, I always hit that L too. Ashley corrects me.
I'm like,
Soleil,
it's
you
Soleil, sir.
Yes.
Are you guys?
You are the same sons of bitches who must have problems when you see her name and sword in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching the new Punky Booster reboot on Peacock? You know, there's a
No.
reboot.
No.
Oh, her as an
But
adult.
we did watch her
Kid
documentary.
90. Mhm.
Oh, you watched this. Okay.
Yeah.
So Soleil Moon Fry in the documentary Kid 90 reveals her first sexual partner was Charlie Sheen.
I was like mind blown. I was like,
Well, she was 18. He was 29 at the time. She's now 44. But she said, quote, he was so kind and loving.
he gives
That,
me the creeps.
I think that there are many women in Hollywood that have the exact same
Exact same
story
story.
that she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
And then it's
Remember.
like blank star first sexual experience Charlie Sheen. So it's like that's all. Like you
Right.
just put in star's name, said star, and
Yeah.
then it ends in Charlie Sheen.
But you know what? Back then, he was still
was
like,
amazing.
he was still new. And so he didn't have all this crazy
Baggage,
stuff
right.
under his belt. So
Well,
he
that's
probably
before he-
was.
That was before he drank Tiger Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty big.
That was so wild, that whole
In the
part of his
90s.
life.
All right, there you go. I think that's all I got. You guys, well, I have more, but we'll wrap it there. I know, Ashley got to get kids up. So
We got school today.
schools. All right, Ashley P, Donnie P, Demetrius Nicodemus for Gina. Great job, Tammy, on producing. Our
Yeah, good job, Tammy.
I'm Andrew Z. Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Come on!